Ever wonder who the richest person in history was? It wasn't a tech billionaire or an oil tycoon. It was an African king from the 14th century named Mansa Musa. His wealth was so immense it's almost impossible to calculate, but his legacy is about so much more than just gold. This is the story of the Golden Emperor of Mali, a leader who reshaped West Africa and put his empire on the global map. Before Mansa Musa, the stage was already being set for greatness. The Mali Empire rose in the 13th century, emerging from the ashes of the older Ghana Empire. It started as a small Mandinka kingdom but quickly grew into a sprawling West African powerhouse. Its strength came from controlling the trans-Saharan trade routes. Caravans crisscrossed the desert, trading precious commodities, salt from the north, ivory from the south, and most importantly, gold. Under visionary founders like Sundiata Keita, Mali wasn't just wealthy. It was stable, well-organized, and respected. By the time Mansa Musa was born in the late 1200s, the empire already controlled some of the richest gold mines on the planet. Mali was a force to be reckoned with, but its golden age was yet to come. Mansa Musa's path to the throne was anything but ordinary. He became emperor in 1312, but he was never supposed to be king. The previous ruler, his predecessor, was an adventurer at heart. He became obsessed with exploring the limits of the Atlantic Ocean and assembled a massive fleet of 2,000 ships to venture into the unknown. He left Musa in charge as his deputy and sailed off, never to be seen again. With the king gone, Musa automatically ascended to the throne, taking the title Mansa, which means king or emperor. From day one, he ruled with a unique blend of discipline, deep religious faith, and an ambition that would soon stun the world. Under his rule, the Mali Empire didn't just grow. It exploded. Mansa Musa expanded its borders until it stretched from the Atlantic coast all the way to modern-day Nigeria, making it one of the largest empires on Earth at the time. It became, without a doubt, the wealthiest African empire of the medieval period. How wealthy? It's estimated that Mali controlled around half of the entire world's gold supply. This immense wealth fueled the growth of magnificent cities. Niamey was the bustling royal capital. Gao became a critical hub for trade along the mighty Niger River. And then there was Timbuktu. Under Musa, Timbuktu began its transformation into a legendary center of learning and scholarship. He wasn't just a conqueror, he was a builder. He financed the construction of mosques, supported scholars, and ensured the trade routes across the Sahara were safe, allowing commerce and culture to flourish like never before. But the event that truly cemented Mansa Musa's name in history was his legendary pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324. This wasn't just a journey. It was a spectacle that the world would talk about for centuries. Imagine a procession stretching as far as the eye can see. His caravan included an incredible 60,000 people. Among them were 12,000 royal servants, all dressed in the finest silks and brocades. Hundreds of camels followed. But these weren't just carrying supplies. Each one was laden with pure gold dust. An entire army of soldiers protected the caravan, while storytellers, officials, and doctors made up the rest of this moving city. It was one of the grandest royal processions in the history of the world. And as he traveled, Mansa Musa gave away his gold with legendary generosity. When his caravan arrived in Cairo, he spent so lavishly, giving gold to the poor, to government officials, and to merchants, that he completely destabilized the local economy. The sheer volume of gold he pumped into the city caused the price of gold to plummet, and it took Cairo's economy nearly 12 years to recover from the inflation. News of this African king and his unbelievable wealth spread like wildfire. For the first time, European and Arab historians began writing about this mysterious golden empire in West Africa. This single journey literally put Mali on the map. When Mansa Musa returned from his Hajj, he didn't just come back with stories. He brought back the best minds he could find. He returned with architects, engineers, scholars, and teachers from across the Islamic world. One of the most famous was an architect and poet named Abu Ishaq al-Sahili. Al-Sahili was tasked with transforming Mali's cities, and he introduced new architectural styles, helping to design iconic buildings like the Great Mosque of Gao and the legendary Djingueber Mosque in Timbuktu, which still stands today. This was the beginning of an intellectual renaissance. Under Mansa Musa's patronage, universities in Timbuktu grew, libraries expanded, and the city became the intellectual jewel of Africa. It was a beacon of knowledge, attracting scholars, poets, and scientists from all over the Islamic world and beyond. Mali was no longer just a wealthy empire. It was a global center of scholarship and culture. The world was completely captivated. European mapmakers, who had previously depicted Africa with vague sketches and mythical beasts, were now scrambling to update their charts. In the famous Catalan Atlas of 1375, one of the most important maps of the medieval period, there's a detailed depiction of West Africa. And right in the middle sits a king on a golden throne, wearing a golden crown and holding a massive gold nugget. The caption next to him reads, "This black lord is called Musa Mali. So abundant is the gold which is found in his country that he is the richest and most noble king in all the land." His fame had crossed deserts and seas, echoing through the courts of Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. So what kind of leader was he? Mansa Musa was known for his commitment to justice. He established a strong, efficient administration that kept his vast empire running smoothly. He actively encouraged trade and ensured that merchants could travel safely across his domain, which was crucial for the economy. And above all, he was a man of deep piety and religious devotion. He managed to perfectly balance immense wealth with a sense of humility and the responsibilities of empire with his spiritual life. He built a legacy not just on gold, but on stability, culture, and faith. Mansa Musa's reign lasted until around 1337. He left behind a stable, prosperous empire with a global reputation. He bequeathed a legacy of education, architecture, and a new standard for African leadership. While the Mali Empire remained a dominant power for some time after his death, his successors struggled to maintain the same level of strength and influence. The Golden Age had truly been defined by his rule. Today, Mansa Musa is remembered for many things. Yes, he is often cited as the wealthiest person in recorded history, a man whose fortune defies modern calculation. But he was so much more. He is a powerful symbol of African excellence and a testament to the continent's rich and complex history. He was the builder of one of the world's greatest centers of learning. And he was the king who connected West Africa to the rest of the world, not through conquest, but through culture, faith, and a generosity so great it changed economies. His story continues to inspire people around the globe, proving that a leader's true wealth lies in the legacy they build. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the history of the Mali Empire, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from our incredible world history. See you next time.